What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be showing you how to make a Dr. Dre style beat in FL Studio. We're going to be making something a little bit on the slower side, similar to the older style Dr. Dre beats that were out there on the Chronic and the Chronic 2001. And we're going to start off with something that's regularly featured in the Dr. Dre tracks, and that's a piano. I just have a plain piano loaded up from FL Fruity Piano, whatever they call it. And, to make it sound a little bit more like Dr. Dre, we're going to use an equalizer to pull out some of the frequencies, make it sound thin. And I've also put a reverb on it to pull it towards the back a little bit. Might back some of that off, though. And then a saturation knob to make it cut a little bit. Soft Tube has this real nice free one. It's a little bit too much. It's distorting. That sounds pretty good. And then really any sort of repetitive piano part will work. And I put something together for us. This is where we're going to start. I'll just get this to loop. Alright, so we have our piano loop. Next thing we're going to do is put a bass down on the bottom. This is going to give us a little bit of the driving force of our track. I've picked a pretty natural sounding bass. And a lot of Dr. Dre's songs have a bass that's accentuated on all the downbeats. That's your 1, your 2, your 3, and your 4. With just some little fills of notes in between them. So we put together something that sounds like this. We're going to mix it a little bit as we go. I'm going to bring down that piano. Put an equalizer on this bass. Alright, that sounds pretty nice. Simple, repetitive, but definitely something that somebody could put a nice 16 over so far. Let's give this some drums. And one thing you hear in almost every Dr. Dre song is a nice cutting snare, very crispy, almost always on the offbeat. So let's put one of those in. Now for a kick drum, sometimes you need to layer them up in order to get something nice and fat sounding. So I took 2 different kick drums. This one sounds like this. Kind of fat and real low. This other one's a little more dry and a little bit higher. We put them together, and it's going to sound like this. I want that kick drum to be a little bit more prominent, so I'm going to put a compressor on it. Nothing too drastic. And on our bass, I'm going to take out some of these real low frequencies because I don't want it to conflict with the low end of our kick drum. That way we're going to get a lot of punch out of the kick. maybe for a little bit more attack, we'll use an equalizer. Right around the 2 kilohertz, we're going to boost this kick a little. Yeah, that should be good. And to finish off our drum part, we're just going to put in a simple repeating hi-hat and then a rising cymbal. For this cymbal rise, all I did was load it up. I think it was either an open hi-hat or a crash. Looks like it was a crash, and we reversed it. So check this out. Starting to sound a little bit more like a Dr. Dre beat. You'll notice that while that was playing, I took all the low frequencies out of the hi-hat and the reversed cymbal. That's not necessarily something you have to do all the time, but it is a good practice to get into. That way nothing conflicts with the rest of your drum set. No, unnecessary interference, pops or clicks or something you may not have heard early on works its way in. The next thing we need to do is just add some accentuating instruments to give us a little bit more depth and complexity to the beat. Dr. Dre typically likes to use a lot of orchestrated sounds, brass, violins, sometimes guitars. So I've used just a simple orchestra hit here just to accentuate our downbeats. That orchestra sounds pretty good, but it's sitting centered along with many of our other instruments, so I'm going to use a Fruity Stereo enhancer, and we're going to use a phase offset to kind of spread it out left and right a little bit here. That sounds pretty good right there. Now let's go the other way. You'll notice how that's actually changing the volume of our left and right a little bit. So when we look at our meter, the left channel is a little bit louder. That's not necessarily a bad thing because our piano happens to be panned slightly right, and so those will help to balance out our sound field. Alright, now to fill it out more, we're going to use a violin with some longer notes. We're going to EQ it and duck it into the background a little bit. So this EQ, we actually have sitting in the same place as our piano, which isn't good. So we're going to change this a little to a slightly lower frequency. That's going to help the piano and the violin separate from each other. But it sounds a little muffled, so we're going to bring some of the real high frequencies back in. Alright, that sounds pretty good. The last thing we're going to do is put a lead instrument over the top, and this is just going to help give the beat some character, a little bit of a melody to follow. I've used a real thin guitar sound. You hear a lot of thin, high-pitched sounds like that in Dr. Dre beats, especially the old ones. Let's go ahead and put that on the top. And let's hear this thing all together. Alright, well from there it's really just about the arrangement, how you want to set up your intro, your verses, your hooks, if you're going to have a bridge or not. Just for fun, I'm going to go ahead here and arrange it a little bit and see if we can't put something together. Once it's all set, then maybe some variations in some of the parts to create a bit of a contrast. We might want to drop out some of the drums here and there so that when we have someone that's actually rapping over the beat, it brings more attention to their vocal. Alright, well, that was real quick, real rough, but let's see what we have at the end here. And there you have it. From here, it's just time to mix it so that everything sounds real nice, and then let's get somebody to write a verse. Thank you guys for watching today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, click that little thumbs up button, leave a message in the comments. I hope this was helpful for somebody out there, and tune back in for another video soon.